First conservationist Meghan Pettit with the Whiteside County Soil and Water Conservation District. She'll give us information on conservation and how to protect our soil, water, and habitat. Now here is Meghan Pettit with Gary Detterman.
And Gary Detterman in for Greg Nosker, who has retired. So here is Meghan Pettit with us. Meghan, I'm looking forward to catching up with you monthly. We're finding out a little bit about you. I don't think Greg ever delved into what your past was.
No.
So we're going to do that right now. You grew up near Port Byron, went to Riverdale High School, and then when you graduated, decided that you wanted to do what?
Originally, I wanted to be a vet, but then realized quickly that I didn't want to be on call all of the time, so I got a general ag degree, which fit in with, I grew up on a farm. I always had cattle, I always had horses, so it all fit in. And yeah, did my 4 years at Western and Macomb, and came back, and I ended up getting a master's in business and marketing because I couldn't find the right ag job at the time. And then I ended up at the Farm Service Agency and jumped ship, and now I'm here.
And March 1st is going to be your 1 year anniversary.
Yep.
So what have you learned over that year?
An awful lot about conservation. Learned a lot about CRP. I've learned an awful lot about native habitat and maintaining it, keeping it, up to specs, like a lot about native habitat.
Now, you're with Whiteside County, of course, but does every county in Illinois, like Joe Davies, Carroll County, do they have someone like you? I
believe so. If it's not every county, it's pretty close. They all have something.
And do you keep in touch with these people at all? I mean, there is a way for you guys to share information?
Yeah, so there's a lot of trainings through NRCS. I end up meeting a lot of the other RCs in other counties. So.
Well, that is great. Well, let's get into the program because you want to talk about growing flowers because you're a very good gardener, I understand.
So I'm a terrible gardener, but I kind of like to have flowers, in my house. They make you happy. They smell good. And I guess this is a good day to talk about it because it is Valentine's Day.
That's right.
So decided to do a little research on it about growing cut flowers, and I thought I'd share it. I am a terrible gardener, so I don't know how it'll work out for me, but I found that some easy to grow flowers are zinnias and sunflowers. Zinnias come in a dozen varieties and they bloom all summer long. Then they have a lot of colors, there's a lot of flower sizes, and you don't have to fuss over them, which sounds perfect for your terrible gardener, such as myself. They grow quickly. They can be started indoors. You don't have to wait too long for the blooms. And then sunflowers are also easy to grow, and they come in a variety of sizes and colors. So those are two pretty good solid starters. Dahlias are also a good option, and they come in a variety of colors and sizes too. They're really pretty. So.
Now, can people pick up flower seeds at your place, or how do they?
No, we don't sell flower. Well, we sell like CRP seed, so we can sell you a native prairie seed with the wildflowers, but not like these type of flowers.
So what made you take on the project of growing flowers?
I don't know. I think it'll be fun. It just kind of spice up my yard, make it look a little prettier.
Okay.
I don't know. Make my house look prettier.
Do you have a garden?
I'm a terrible gardener, so no.
Okay.
I thought about this year getting some raised beds, growing. I have chickens. I
did hear that, yes.
I thought about growing, some tomatoes, maybe some peppers, and just so I could give all my excess to my chickens. So maybe I'll have a garden this year. We'll see.
You're talking about making it a little bit brighter in the yard.
Yeah.
You see that it also serves a purpose.
It does. So especially if you plant some of those native flowers, if you plant your black-eyed Susans, pale purple coneflowers, spiderworts, blazing stars, smooth asters, those are all native Illinois plants. So they're also going to attract pollinators, and pollinators need all the help that we can give them. So it's kind of a dual purpose thing.
K&R Greenhouse, they sponsor Great Green Garden Show on Saturdays, and of course they're in the Morrison area. Do you ever visit with him?
No, I have. I've only been there once. once.
He'd be a good guy to talk to.
Yeah,
Roger
that'd be
knows
good.
his stuff.
Yeah.
And of course, you can listen Saturday mornings to
Yeah.
Margot at 9:15. So we go from flowers to trees and fish.
Yep. So every spring and fall, we have a tree and fish sale. Our tree order deadline is March 1st. Our fish order deadline is March 6th if you want grass carp, and for everything else, it's March 20th. For the grass carp, we just have to have more specific information. You have to have a permit to have them, so we have to have like the county township range and of where the pond is, and then the latitude and longitude. They're regulated in Illinois, so you can stock them in private ponds, but like I said, you just have to have a permit for them.
What kind of trees are we talking about, Megan?
Conservation trees. So we have lots of oaks. We have, let's see, cedar trees, fir trees.
So these
conservation
are trees you
type
can
trees.
order and then pick up at your office?
Yeah.
And your office
We have-
is located where?
In Morrison at 400 Wilkins Drive.
Okay.
We're on South 78 by the gas station.
Okay, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, is this a high demand? Do you get a lot of people every year ordering trees?
I
Well,
think
you're going to find out, I suppose.
Yeah, well, it kind of varies. Sometimes we have more than other years, but I think we have a pretty decent order this year.
It's interesting about the grass carp and 4 ponds. Is this primarily to keep the ponds kind of clear and clean?
Yeah, they'll eat anything, but they're also regulated, so you can't just throw them in the river, obviously.
Or
They'll
in the
just
pond.
multiply.
Okay,
Yeah.
right. Okay, you got to keep an eye on
Yeah.
that. Are there many ponds in Whiteside County? I mean, I know you've probably traveled the county.
I've traveled a lot. There are a few. I've run across a few.
And are they pretty well maintained?
A lot of them seem like it, yeah.
And now, is this under your jurisdiction? I mean, can you come up to somebody and
Ponds?
say, hey, you need to clean this up just a little
No.
bit for us?
No, I'm more of a CRP, so if you have land that's in the Conservation Reserve Program, I go out and I do checks on them every year. So we look at the land like every 3 years for the contract. That is more what I'm looking at, not everybody's land.
Okay. You know, it won't be long, spring planting, it will be coming up. Do you have anything to do with that at all?
No.
Okay.
No.
I'm trying to learn it here a little bit about. Again, Greg always did this program, and I would just walk out of the studio, but here I am now.
Yeah.
And you've got something very interesting. Woolly mammoths may be coming back.
I think it's interesting. So I think a few months ago I told you guys about the Tasmanian tiger and how this company out of Texas wants to bring back the Tasmanian tiger and reintroduce it into its native land because it was the top predator in the area and now it's gone, so everything underneath it has just kind of exploded. Well, the same company, they want to bring back the woolly mammoth, and it's been in the news lately. They put a date on the de-extinction of it, and they say it should make its return by 2027, which this isn't the normal type of conservation we talk about, but I think it's pretty interesting. So they hope to reintroduce it in the Arctic to make a beneficial impact on the health of the world's ecosystem. So they say that the animal's vast migration patterns are an active part of preserving the Arctic. And they already have the DNA, they're already editing the genes, and they hope to, I think it's like 99.6% Asian elephant, and then they add in the woolly mammoth DNA. And they hope to place the embryo inside of an African elephant because it's the bigger elephant. Woolly mammoths are obviously massive. And then, yeah, by 2027, which is interesting.
And we may see the return of the dodo bird as well.
They mentioned that in the article too. I just think it's interesting. It's one of those that I'm going to kind of keep up with because I find it fascinating.
So did you Google this, or how did you come about this, Megan?
So I look at conservation news a lot, and this has been a part of it quite a bit. So I don't know. I think it's interesting.
And before we let you go, and I'm looking forward to catching up with you every month and your 1-year anniversary, of course, when we see you next time.
Yeah.
Talk about the logo.
So we are working on the Whiteside County Conservation Education Center, And we're in the early stages of it, but we're hoping to put up a building that is surrounded by native prairie, and it'll have a plant nursery, and we're hoping to do classes and workshops out of it. So because, we're in the early stages, we need a logo. So we're running a logo contest. It runs until the end of this month, and there's a cash prize for the winner. I believe it's $300 or $350.
That's pretty
but
good. Don't
quote me. I'm pretty sure that's what it is.
Okay.
And it's open to anyone, and you can find the information on it on whitesidecounty.swcd.com, and it's underneath the Education Center. We just have to have it in a JPEG file, and then after the end of the month, we'll have a winner. I believe someone is gonna cover it, and we'll have like a little big to-do thing about picking the winner.
So have you gotten any entries at all yet?
We've gotten a few.
And what have they kind of looked like?
I'm not gonna tell you. You got to come up with your own.
I'm not going to come up with one.
A lot of them say, Whiteside County Conservation Education Center, and then we have a little some of them have plants, some of them have butterflies. There's been a variety of things.
Is there a size that you want them to, when they submit this?
I don't know that there's a size requirement.
Okay. All righty.
No.
So this Whiteside County Conservation Education Center, who's that all going to serve?
So it'll be in Fulton, just across the river, and then I don't really know if we've talked about who. I think it'll be open to anybody. But I think it's a really cool idea. You'll be able to see a native prairie, a plant nursery. You'll get to learn about all of that and why it's important. It's really awesome. We just hired an architect to help us with the building.
People want to find out more information about the Whiteside County. How can they best do that, Megan?
So we do have a website, the Whiteside County SWCD.com. It has information about everything that we're doing, including our tree and plant sale. It has information about our education center. You can find a lot there.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Yeah, you're welcome.
The Whiteside County Soil and Water Conservation District program with Meghan Pettit is heard at 9:15 a.m. on the second Tuesday of every month on FM 105.9 and AM 1340 KROS.